What's up everybody, Mossy here, and today we want to try something a little bit different. I want to run through a full game commentary of a game I played just yesterday and try and help the understanding and thought process behind, honestly, an Ivern in the jungle, because it seems like a lot of my teammates or a lot of people just really don't see Ivern that much and don't really understand what the Ivern wants, what the Ivern's thinking. So I want to jump through this game here and just kind of run down a little bit of commentary. Right from the champ select screen here, we see Karma has Ignite. Caitlyn is a much stronger laner than Kai'Sa, so there's going to be pressure there. They're looking to dominate the lane. Top laner Darius doesn't have TP, but Garen does. So what that means is we're going to have to be extra careful about where the Garen is, when the Darius can't be with us, when the Darius is splitting, and what that means for objective control. However, the more aggressive summoner in lane should give the Darius a way to chase and catch up and hopefully dominate the lane. That's what we're hoping there, because later on, Garen becomes pretty annoying and pretty useful, actually, whereas Darius can fall off. But the one thing is, Darius and bruisers in general are really good into Ivern because I can give him a gap close. So that's something I'm really looking to utilize right when the game starts. It's a Zac, so I'm not too worried about invades. He can invade me if he's playing aggressive, but a lot of Zacs just play for the gank. They don't play for the invade. So what I'm looking to do is, my mid lane is a 50-50. It's Diana and Zed. So what I'm looking to do is really turn that 50-50 into an advantage for us. And I'm looking to have really early priorities. So the runes that I'm running are Summon Airy with Nullifying Orb. And then we have Transcendence and Water Walking. Secondary, we have Futures Market and Cosmic Insight, along with the CDR, Adaptive Force, and Health runes. So this is more of an early game setup. We're not going with the Guardian, which is more of a late game single target counter type of build, more of a team fighting build. This is more of a pressure early. So the thing that people don't really understand about Ivern is his win rate drops drastically after 35 minutes. He becomes less and less useful, similar to how a support would be. But in the early game, that's early to mid game is when he's the most useful, because he's going to be building support items and he's going to be trying to get to those key item points with Futures Market as early as possible. So let's start up the game here. And so we can try and show you exactly what I mean here. We want to have the advantage in the 3v3s around objectives, in the 4v4s around objectives. And we want to be the stronger team come 20 minutes so we can close out the game as fast as possible. So it looks like my team here is trying to invade. I'm going to put the camera over to me, and we'll have the little frame here so you can see that. And I'll try and do my best to kind of commentate my thought process. Now, I don't love invading as Ivern. Ivern's not very good. He doesn't do any damage. I do have a root and a gap close, so that's one thing. With a Nautilus, it might work out. But as you can see from the Fog of War, we have no idea where they are, right? So we're just kind of blind face checking in here. Spoiler alert, we don't find anyone, which is was a bit funny to me. I was like, oh shit, what's going on? So right away the team's pinging, oh, invade, invade, they're invading. And there, sure enough, we see them. So we take hella damage from Karma. I end up getting the Caitlyn. The whole team should have collapsed right there. It would have been a free kill on Caitlyn. Instead, they let him get a lot of damage. Darius burns Flash. We burn the Zac passive, you can see right there. And I end up getting the last hit kill on the Diana. So right here, what I want to do is, I'm assuming Zac is going to go back to his... Zac's going back to his red. So he's going to be topside level 3. I don't plan on coming back to this side for quite a while. So that's why I smite the blue. Because I don't have my wards, I need that mana right away. And I'm going to go over to the other side. I got first blood, so that's an easy 400 in my pocket. And what that allows me to do is get an early cheat back to get my, with the Futures Market and that first blood, I can get like a 3-minute Moby Boots, and that'll help me pressure all the lanes. So that's really what I'm looking for here. You can see I don't have enough health to kind of stick around. So I'm going to end up going back to my wolves and then basing to get those Mobies. Like the second that I can base to get the Mobies, that's how I'm doing it. Because I have no way to sustain here, and I have no smite. So that's what you're going to see me doing. We can already tell Garen's playing very aggressive. So that's one thing I was looking at. Zed is playing very aggressive, so those are... Zed is easily ganked here, but top is not really easily ganked. But I'm basing, which gives Zach time to go to his blue. So my goal here, grab those Mobies and rush topside to clear my top, get my red, and put pressure on the Garen top, because I want to help Darius out. I see Caitlyn is kind of really putting a lot of pressure on the Kai'Sa, but that's to be expected. I mean, there's only so much Ivern can do against that. We kind of just have to let that ride until her tier stacks. And like until Kai'Sa's 2 items, she's really just kind of a pawn right now. But once the dragon becomes a viable option, we're definitely gonna... Oh, look at that artifacting. So we see here Darius is fighting. He's going in, and I see the Zac, and I know he's coming. So I'm looking for like a counter gank. This is essentially a counter gank. I missed my Q like a boosted ape, but I'm applying red buff. And remember, Zac blew his passive earlier, so we get the kill there. We get the shield, easy double kill, and that's really what Ivern's good at. He's really good at counter ganking. So in that case, I was kind of the ganker, but I knew he was there anyway because we saw him in the bush. And now with the Mobi's water walking, we have the easy just run collab mid lane here. We give Zed the jump, and I end up KSing him. I really don't want to take that kill. I want to let the Ignite finish it. He wasn't a big fan of me after that one. And now you can see how we are going to get this crab, and we have just so much early pressure. I want to help out Kai'Sa here, and we've impacted all 3 lanes, all because of that early back, right? I missed my Q again. So if I hit those, it's much easier here for us. He misses his hook. And so this whole gank is kind of a shit show, but we did get the Karma Flash, so that's okay. Now, I flash like an ape, even though I know Zac is around, because the dragon's up, Nautilus flashes and still dies, and this has been a total disaster. Not what we want. But because we blew Karma Flash, I want to repeat this. That'll pull Zac away, because I know Zac is going to dragon right now. Now, we see, we don't need to help top. Mid is doing fine. They're pretty even, just like I thought they would be. So we really want to stay between mid and bottom because we want that dragon pressure. And right now, I'm assuming on the mini map I can't really see much. I'm assuming that Zac's on the dragon, so I come in for this. No such luck. Darius just got a kill. Let's go back to me here. I hate this thing. And so we get out unscathed. But I have to leave the dragon. So I don't know if he started it right there. I don't think he did because their bot lane backed. So that kind of gives me the freedom to run topside here. And now we just want to get our camps again. We don't want to fall behind. We're ahead 5-2 here. We're up 2k gold. We have a really good early start. And it's exactly what we want to do. We've set our team up for success, essentially. The next goal is just get that dragon. So I see Darius backing. I want to mark my camps, and I want to rush down to my blue here. I use my smite because I'm pretty sure we... Oh, and we just see Zac on the mini-map there. But Nautilus goes in. I can't really help him out. I'm too far away. Looks like our Kai'Sa's getting kind of wrecked over here. You can see this Caitlyn's pretty big. I'm taking the blue. And I'm trying to make myself as annoying as possible right now. Because we don't really want them to take the drag. And I noticed they didn't start taking it. They really could have got it right there, but they chose plates instead. Which for a Caitlyn, lane dominant 80 carry, that's probably fine. And if you look at the gold, it's right back to 1k from the 3k that it was. And now Nautilus is coming back, and he's a big boy, so I wanna help him out. I do the shield, we get the slow and the root. And so this gank was really just a timing that I knew Zach had left, and I knew Nautilus was just coming back, so that gives us right back to 3k gold lead. Now with Daisy, early levels, at level 6, Ivern can solo the dragon with Daisy, so because Zach backed, I'm assuming he's going to come for this if he notices, like if he wards it in time, but I'm going to start it because we have full pressure. And it actually really helps that Nautilus came too. So what I was expecting here, and there's the ward right there, I was expecting Zach to base and then rush back to the, like rush right back to the dragon. So we end up winning the smite fight there, just barely. But that TP came in handy for Garen, so while I was doing the dragon, I didn't notice Garen TP. It cost us 2. She boosts. Oh man, that was so bad. And Darius is still splitting, so overall 2 for drag, not great, but Darius is way ahead. We can live with that. And so all of our camps are up here, so that's really the next step. We want to get the camps. We want to just make sure that we don't lose any plates that we don't have to. So right here I'm waiting in the base. This is because I made the decision that for the next team fight, to really push our advantage, I'm going to need redemption. So I waited 50 gold to futures market buy redemption. I think we can show the scoreboard here. How do we do that? This. So if you look there, I just bought the redemption. And if we take a look at the lanes here, Darius is way up on Garen. And Kai'Sa's tied with Caitlyn, but that's still Caitlyn favored. And then mid, Diana is slightly stronger, and I've had the most impact here in the game. But that early Moby's buy and now getting the redemption, we were able to pressure top, parlay that into a mid gank, parlay that into a bot gank, and really have an impact on all 3 lanes, all because of water walking and Moby boots. It's really underrated and it's really good. And the summon area gives us extra damage. It also gives us extra shield early game. And that's really nice. Now we got 3 wards in the river, but we still don't really see anyone. And I'm going to try and pressure because the Zed just isn't as head as I would like. So we pop the shield. That gives us the slow. And I'm watching. It doesn't... We don't kill her. So I placed the redemption down here because I saw her run there and I knew that the ignite was not going to kill her. So I get the redemption kill. And there we go. Waiting that extra 50 gold gave us a redemption kill. Obviously, I'm not campaigning that you should wait for your item every time, but I felt in this case it was really important because this is the exact moment when we need to snowball as hard as we can. And so we get the first turret here, and I'm on clear duty. Rift Herald and top side of the map is where we need to play right now. Kai'Sa was able to kill the Caitlyn, so we kind of have full reign over the whole map. Honestly, I have a tough time. Like Daisy and Ivern have a tough time clearing the Rift Scuttler. So what I'm trying to do here is just counter gank as best I can, apply pressure, and I see Zed's fighting again. So I'm coming in to help him out. He gets solo killed. There's not much I can do on this. I try to waste her time as much as I can, but I'm not gonna get this. I go for it, but the stopwatch kind of cocks me. And you know, Darius makes a good roam here. So that's a situation where a lot of mid laners think they can just like 100 to 0 Ivern immediately, and it's like no problem for them. But when you have red buff in Daisy, it takes them a long time to kill you, right? So they usually get baited in pretty hard. And now with that lead, we're going to snowball it into more pressure bottom. Now Nautilus needs to jump right there. Nautilus needs to use all his stuff. We just barely survive. When I Q Caitlyn, Nautilus needs to go on Caitlyn. Which made that kind of a fiesta. So when I'm watching this, there's Zac right there. I'm just trying to put the shield in as best I can. Now we want to peel Kai'Sa, because Kai'Sa's the one we want strong. We get the Zac passive. I get the redemption save on myself. And there's a easy 2 kills there for us. Zed with the nice roam. But Diana's missing, and we gotta watch out for that. And there we see her in the alcove on the minimap. And we're being a bit greedy here, so it's kind of time for us to peace out. We want to set up for the drag, right? So I can't die here. That's very sketch. But backing here also leaves the drag open. So we're kind of between a rock and a hard place. I stop my back because I think Diana's going to dive. But they end up not doing it. I'm too low to contest the drag anyway, so I kind of got to risk it. And Darius makes the heads up play to notice that they're going to go for drag. So why not take the rift here? Alright, come on. What are you waiting for? So I must have screwed up my item purchase there. Beelining into the Inferno Drag as quick as I can. And our Darius doesn't have TP, so we have to be aware of that. But he's splitting really hard with the rift, and he's able to put in a lot of work. Now, Ocean's really good for Ivern. It gives him survivability and extra bushes, which is really nice. And yeah, so we just kind of want to defend here for the time being. Sucks we didn't get that drag, but it's okay. We were still able to apply a lot of pressure, and we're up 4k gold now, so we're slowly building that lead. Darius goes a bit ham with the Rifty, but because I see them there, I try to force an engage. Doesn't really work. So what we want to do is figure out a way to get right now bottom and mid tower. Those are the 2 objectives here. So when I'm looking at this, Nautilus steals the blue. I want my bot lane to be bottom, obviously, and Garen's had enough, so he lane swaps. This is something that we didn't notice in time, and we really should have. Pretty boosted on our end, honestly. Our bot lane here just kind of gets clapped by the Garen a bunch of times, and that's not okay. We see the Karma, we see the Zac, we see the Caitlyn, so we know that this is happening. I want to try help Darius and save our tier 1 outer. But I'm also aware that Garen's gonna be coming bottom. Zed's just holding his own. I'm worried for Darius here. I want to take the red and help him out, but if we jump down to bottom here, we did see Garen was sitting right here, and so we're pretty nervous about that. I wasn't able to save that Diana tower. I'm just trying to clear, and there's the Garen killing the Kai'Sa for some reason. I guess it was with Zac's assistance. But now the Garen is pretty big. So he's going to be really annoying in the split because he has TP and we do not have TP. So right now on the map you can see 2 members bottom, 2 members top from the enemy team. So I suggest, push down that mid tower. I'm going to keep Zac busy. but we don't end up getting it. We're kind of in stall mode because in the game this felt like a much bigger lead for them than it is, or a much closer game than it actually is. They've closed the gold gap now with those shutdowns and we're about even again, like only 1k gold lead, when this is the time of the game where we need to be snowballing. So Kai'Sa once again went top, which is good, but Nautilus is sitting mid. Nautilus needs to go top and help her out. There's really no reason for him to be here. It's a pretty big misplay, honestly. We just lose that tower for free. And I'm just trying to farm until the next objective because there's too much wave clear in the game, honestly. Now Darius is overextending without pressure, which is an issue that we always see in lower elos, such as mine, because I'm boosted. But yeah, so they should not be fighting because Kai'Sa died top and we were just stalling mid. There's really no reason to be that far up. The enemy team has nothing else to do but go and kill you. There's no dragon, there's no baron, there's no rift. And now, if we look at the state of the game, let's pop open the scoreboard. We see Garen is up to 5-2 with a full Triforce and a 500 gold bounty. Darius has 161 farm, but somehow this guy has, like, the bounty system's fucked. But that's neither here nor there. And Zed is kind of irrelevant. He's going to have a lot of trouble killing some stuff. I'm doing my best to just keep the team alive. I got my 2 core items here, so I mean we should have a team fight advantage once the Manamune stacks. Right now we're really waiting for Kai'Sa to just come online. And if we look, Zac has the Cinderhulk Thornmail built, so Zed's gonna have an impossible time with that. He obviously can't kill him. But yeah. So we're going to try and contest this drag because obviously we want to get the drags before they do. It's 1-1 right now. And I mean our engage is pretty nutty. So my job here is to send Daisy in. And just take a look at where they're at. And then keep Kai'Sa alive. That's my whole job. Keep Kai'Sa alive, get the drag. Get the drag. Keep Kai'Sa alive, get the drag. So on the map I saw Zac at the bottom there. And something you might not have noticed was he was charging up his E and I Q'd him. So that will stop his E. It happened pretty quickly, but he was sitting on the bottom. I threw my E onto him so he couldn't come in and smite steal. And then we secured the drag. Redemption here paying dividends. Darius just overextends. And now I'm probably gonna... Oh. And here comes the Garen. The big old fat ass Garen. Uses his ult on me for some reason. And because of this overextension and throw, we just kind of throw our whole lead that we built up, right? And of course, it's 20 minutes into the game. Baron's on the table for the enemy team. I'm dead for 13 more seconds. So those kind of decisions just... we can see they're here. Something in League that's so dumb is that you can see all those little animations, even when you're playing. I try to rush there as quick as I can, but obviously it's not too likely I'll steal this one. And so the enemy's going to get the Baron here, and we're going to have to play from behind a little bit. So I wasn't able to get there in time, but... Peel Kai'Sa, Peel Kai'Sa, Peel Kai'Sa, that's the name of the game. And now we killed 2, our play is just push mid tower, rotate through their jungle, back, re-ward, and then clear our own jungle. So, like, with this team comp, what we really want to happen is we want Nautilus and Daisy to be engaging together. And right now, Daisy's just kind of causing mayhem. But I'm end up taking the tower shots for it. Just because I don't want anyone else to. But we end up getting the tier 2 as well, I believe. Oh, not quite. But we'll get it soon enough. Redemption to top up so that we can defend. But we want Nautilus and Daisy going in. We want me to be able to affect both the front line and the back line at the same time. That's kind of the hidden power. Daisy's going to affect the front line, and I'm going to make sure Kaiser stays alive. That's really my job. It frees Nautilus up to go do what he does, right? Because he doesn't have to worry about peeling. He can worry about engaging. And then Darius can use Nautilus or can use my Q to get right into the middle of the fight and apply those bleed stacks. And that's why I think this composition works really well. I mean, Zed just kind of an assassin. He's got to kill the Caitlyn. That's his job. But obviously, because of this Baron, we have a tough time defending here. Darius goes 1v5. And we do our best to fight this. Daisy gets the knockup. You can see my whole job is to peel Kaiser. That's all I'm doing this whole fight. And we get the clutch shield, and we end up defending. So if your AD has faith that the shields are going to come, and your front line has faith that you're going to peel and they can engage, you really can get a cohesive front-to-back team fight. And I feel, personally, that's one of Ivern's biggest strengths. He lets you close the gap, and he lets you be a front line and a back line at the same time. And now there's no more objectives on the map, so we're going to do a full clear, and then Dragon will come up shortly. So we really want those dragons. That's kind of the goal. And after that fight, Kaiser's really online now. She kind of has everything she needs to carry this game. And so we're past the point. Right now we're in the Ivern sweet spot, I like to call it. We're past the vulnerable part of the mid game where the AD's not strong and you don't do any damage. That can cause a lot of problems team fighting. But now we're at the part of the game where you have so much utility and your AD carry actually does damage that you kind of win every team fight. We see Zed trying to be useful, doing his best. But we're doing our best to just posture around the Baron. Because the closer knit of a team fight we can have, the better here. Or, sorry, the Dragon. So we're going to start it. Nautilus gets the perfect engage onto Caitlyn. Kaiser goes in. My job is to just follow the Kaiser. I do not want her to die. And they get a kill. But because Garen is so strong, you see in the top lane, Garen's just hard pushing right now. He's splitting. So here's where we make another macro mistake. We end up peeling the Zac off of Kaiser. I think we end up killing him there, yeah. But he bought time for Garen. So we want to get this. But what I didn't notice was Darius had already started his back. So right now, we should be pushing out mid lane and bot lane, but instead we all back to go and do nothing, and our lanes are pushing into us. If we were more coordinated and Darius said, I'll back, I can take him one-on-one, then we would have been free to push the lanes a lot quicker. I mean, the lanes were already really pushed, so it wouldn't save that much time, but it is just one of those things where we should have more map pressure than we do right now, just because of that group back. But if we look at the state of the game, the gold is pretty much even, but it doesn't feel like it. Like, it feels like Zed is not helping that much, but it feels like everyone else is much stronger than their counterpart. And we have 3 dragons. So Darius is kind of just running amok on everyone because of that great early game that we had for him. If you can get your Bruiser ahead, Ivern plus Bruiser equals victory. We do a little bit of counter jungling here, which is great. And the Baron's coming up soon. So we want to use this pressure as much as we can. Kaiser's finally online, you can see. We want to use this pressure as much as we can to parlay that into really parlay that into the Baron and then finish, right? We want to end the game. We want to end the game before 35 minutes. If this thing gets to 40 minutes, our winning percentage will go way down. Garen, Zac, Caitlyn, Diana will all outscale Zed, Ivern, Darius. So that was kind of my thought process of what I was doing. I'm posturing around Baron. I want, like, they got the crab there, but I want the enemy to know we're trying to go for it, and I want to pull everyone in. Because right now, we win a team fight. But in about 10 minutes, or 5 minutes, we don't win that team fight. So if we can get that bait and really get the Baron, we'll have a much easier time. I noticed Zed is fighting. He ends up getting the karma, which is really huge for us. Diana thinks she can kill me. But obviously she can't because I'm tanky boy. And the team fight ensues. I just keep stunning her. I flash away from the light. We end up killing a bunch of them. And I believe we just start Baron. Which is what we should be doing right here. Now, this was a bit crazy. Kai'Sa went back to stop Caitlyn. You can see Caitlyn wasn't really a part of that fight. And Daisy's running out. So I accidentally shielded Zed there. But Darius doesn't come to help on this. And I'm gonna be honest, we do this hella slow. Like, look how slow this is. So we do this so slow that watch the Daisy timer. I end up getting 2 Daisies during this fight. Because Daisy's cooldown right now is so short. I think if you get a full max Daisy, right now it's 24 seconds on that Daisy, but I think if Daisy were to just die of natural causes, then it'd be only 20 seconds. But I smite for health so that I can start tanking, and I'm really just trying to buy time. Zed should be going for that fruit, but he doesn't. I'm just buying time. I have another smite up now and another Daisy. So this really secures it for us. The fact that I can get to that Daisy, then the cavalry come in, and it's a clean Baron. So that took about 97 years to do that little Baron there. But we made it. We made it. Now we take our camps. Let's look at the state of the game here. So with Baron, what we see, Darius has 2 and almost 3 completed items, or Garen, sorry. Darius has 4 completed items because look at that farm. He is actually a monster. I went with the Knight's Vow right away because I feel like Caitlyn's the only one who can really kill us, Caitlyn Garen. So I wanted to add some protection to our Kai'Sa, who is finally online with 4 items. But yeah, this guy kind of, because of the early start we had, he's really helping us out. Caitlyn's on 3 items, so you can never count out a 3 item Caitlyn. But we're in the driver's seat with the Baron. We're really waiting for the 4th drag. The 4th drag kind of will seal the deal for us, or will put us in a commanding lead here. And so we see Zach there again, but he did not have time. And so here's the engage. We group up. We really want to basically protect the Kai'Sa right here. We end up getting the pick on Diana. And yeah, we want to push this as quick as we can, right? I use Daisy just for the quick and easy towers. It's just shield, 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 constant shield. Shield is on a 5-second cooldown. I'm at 45% cooldown, so. But the cool thing is that it counts down while the shield is on the person. So it doesn't feel like it's on the person for like 4 seconds, and then you wait a second and you can put it on them again, right? And so the reason I wanted to show that game was because I really wanted to demonstrate how getting the early Mobies and really getting lane pressure on all 3 lanes helped us snowball into the dragons, helped us snowball into that early advantage, and really helped us close out the game despite having those quick little throws. That Ivern is really an early game jungler. That's kind of the mindset I want to shift. So thanks for watching. Peace out, everyone, and go hug a tree.